All right, we're live. We got Cruz at the helm once again. Uh, Stream health
Julio,
is
what's going
good. What's going on?
on? What's up? Sorry, I just grabbed my coffee.
That is perfectly all right. Um, so today we are doing the classic burger versus Beyond Meat. And
Yeah, the Beyond.
full disclosure, I've already tried the Impossible Burger several years ago. Actually, it's probably good 3 or 4 years ago.
Is Impossible Burger the one that went with Burger King?
I believe so.
They're the ones that went with Burger King, I think. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so this one's very interesting, and I'm actually really curious about how you're gonna um view this
So I mean,
particular
like
thing.
you've had not even just the other one, but you've had like bean patty burgers and stuff before. Like I've had, bean, and they're good. I mean, it's not beef, but I've never tried these before. So I picked one Beyond Burger, two patties. So first off, like I don't know if you do it when you grab new stuff. Like I always look at the back, like what's going on, what's actually going on with these things. So the front, no soy, no gluten. That's pretty good. The no gluten part, and then the no soy. I try and stay away from that. So even though it's all vegetable based, it is not like light in calories actually. Like
Hmm.
one patty, which is only 4 ounces, is 260 calories, which is not far off from ground beef. I want to say ground beef of 4 ounces would be like right around 320 or so, depending on the fat content on it.
Yeah.
It's already got the sodium. There's no taking sodium out. 15%, whatever. It's just little salt. Little salt won't kill you. It's actually good for you. 20 grams of protein from it. That's actually pretty solid.
Yeah. Actually, I did not know that. I looked up some stuff earlier today, so that's new to me.
Yeah, so that's not bad. And then what do we actually have in it? Water, pea protein, Expola, pressed, blah, 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 canola oil, some random refined coconut oil, whatever, rice protein, natural flavors, cocoa butter. Thought cocoa butter was for like your belly, but we're eating some cocoa butter. That's fine.
For your belly.
Mung bean, yeah, stretch marks for cocoa butter. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna be eating some cocoa butter, whatever. Mung bean protein, methyl cellulose, no idea what that is. Potato starch, apple extract, pomegranate extract. So I know the pomegranate extract, and then the beet juice extract is for the color because it actually gives it like a little bit of color and a little bit of kind of that actual like juice blood.
Well, I think it's also for the flavor too, because beet juice has like a type of. It's either like heme or is heme. Is
Yeah,
heme.
I'm not that. I didn't come up with that. It actually says it right here: beet juice extracts for color. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Um, well, I know the Impossible Burger does the beet juice for the flavor of the kind of like that blood type of thing, not just the color.
I'm not
But
gonna lie, this looks like a cross between a potential hamburger and slash dog food. If I'm being honest, look at this. Like it in the thing, it kind of looks like a little bit like dog food, but that's fine.
what about the smell? What about the smell?
I don't know. Let's
That's
see. Hold on.
raw.
Let me get this thing up. It doesn't quite smell like dog food.
It doesn't quite smell like dog food.
Well, I have it in my head now, so everything's gonna like smell like that now that it's stuck in my head.
I wonder, is it possible for people to eat it raw? I mean, it can't be worse than eating meat raw because
Oh, you
it's
can
vegetables.
definitely eat this raw. So recommended cooking instructions, yeah, you can definitely eat this. There's nothing in this. It's just oil, protein, flavor. Oh, it does say cook thoroughly. I don't know why. Eh, we'll see. And then two real burgers.
So other than let's see, so the calories are pretty high. I'm guessing some of the saturated fats and
So there's some of the canola oil and stuff in there, so you're gonna have the saturated fats and everything in there. Yeah, yeah. The
well,
thing is, like, it's a meat substitute. That's the big thing. That's the big selling point on it. It's not like it's some magical, healthier for you. I guess you can have the debate of if meat versus the vegetable protein and base and everything is healthier for you because your body can break it down better. Sure, but just from like an actual contents and calories and stuff, it's not that it's this healthy alternative. It's just a vegetarian alternative.
mm, it's very interesting because I thought it might be healthier, but it seems like it's not in that regard as far as calories. I actually don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's popping up. They're all over the place now. I mean, you see, like, because they have the Beyond Sausage, they have the Beyond ground beef and everything.
Mhm.
So, and I know you've done it too, but have you actually ever looked at their stock?
Yeah. Today, right now, they're actually up 20%. They're above
Yeah,
$160.
since their IPO, like, they've been having a really solid run. Um, So, like, I've looked at them before and looked at the products, and I've actually asked. I have one of my friends; she's vegetarian. I asked her if she's had it. She's like, "Yeah, I had them. They're pretty comparable to like other stuff and everything." So I was looking kind of that whole, Buffett competitive advantage is like the Beyond Meat, like much much better than say like the Impossible Burger or some other stuff. And she wasn't wowed by it, and she's been a vegetarian for years now. So she said it was good, but
Mm.
not amazing. I mean, it's not cheap. Like it's the same price, roughly, if not more, than actual meat. As
For
far as
for the volume, for the weight content, or the like, how much did that package cost
this Beyond Burger package, the 2 patties, 4 ounces. I want to say this thing was like $4, $4 or $5 or so.
for how many ounces?
8 ounces.
For
So
eight
ground
ounce
beef,
for eight
yeah,
ounces.
two 4 ounce patties. So, I mean, ground beef is $3.99, $4.99. Maybe if you're like getting like 90-10 or 90,
Yeah.
maybe you're paying for that like 90-10 super grass fed. The most you're gonna pay gonna be like $7.99 or $8.99 a pound,
Yeah.
which would still like be cheaper than that. Now, sometimes you get like already made burgers and stuff. That's a little more money or whatever, but it's not cheap. Like that Beyond Meat is not cheap at all.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I don't know if that they just haven't been able to come down on price. If people are just willing to pay it, so they pay it, and
mm.
that's kind of their price point. What's something worth? Whatever somebody's going to pay for it. So
Well, I think part of it too is sourcing some of the ingredients, and the process itself. Because this isn't necessarily like I grabbed this out of my vegetable garden. This is a heavily engineered um, piece of food, which is kind of a different
yeah,
approach, I guess, to the
not
whole.
a simple process. It's not going to just magically show up.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different ingredients, processed and everything. I mean, look at all the extra packaging and stuff. So
Mm.
wow, all this extra plastic and all the things. So and then you have that, you have this. Pretty sure I checked. All this is recyclable and everything, which is good. But if another thing of yours was like, oh, I want to be a little conscientious of the environment, like you're getting these two tiny patties with a ton of packaging. Hopefully, and luckily it is all recyclable. But it's not like just because it's recyclable, it doesn't have an impact. Everything still has an impact, even if you recycle it.
Well, since we're getting to that conversation, right? The process of recycling. So you have a recyclable item, but there's a process with
What's up,
recycle.
you cut out?
Oh, sorry. So with the process of recycling, there's actually the process of.
Still cut out.
Oh, so yeah, I can see it juddering a little bit.
Did you hear me? Did you hear what I said? Tell her to get off the internet. We're live. Give me my bandwidth back.
I know. Crap. No, she's not here yet. You'll probably hear her in the background because she's getting out of work.
Yeah, so we're not going to do a ton with as far as like the cooking prep and everything. We're going to go over some of the stuff and then we're going to try it and just check it out and see what it's like because I was interested in it. One, for actually how it is, see what it tastes like and everything. And then two, they actually did always kind of interest me a little bit as a stock. So I kind of wanted to see their product and see what they were all about.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the great ways to gain some insight as well about companies. Is that if you're a consumer of these products or you're interested in seeing what they're about, a good way to do is actually just to try out their stuff. So, um, so again, like Facebook, everyone uses Facebook. Why not invest in Facebook? you know.
Right. So I mean, I'm keeping it pretty even as far as the two of them go. Just on the patties, just a little salt and pepper on each one of them. Probably didn't need any more salt on those. Those already have plenty of sodium in them. And then each one on both. So I have 2 and 2. So I have 2 of the Beyonds and I have 2 regular ground beefs. The ground beef and one of the other ones we're going to do just plain, just the salt and pepper, just cooked as is on the burger. Then the other 2 we'll compare them, actually do them as like a barbecue cheeseburger, which is how I would have had my burger. We're not doing a bacon barbecue cheeseburger because it would kind of defeat the purpose putting bacon on the other one. So,
yeah. So 2 8-ounces for the regular beef, 8 ounces of ground beef, 2 4-ounce Beyond Burger patties, 4 slices of pepper jack cheese, barbecue sauce, salt, pepper, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 4 potato bread.
You got it. Pretty straightforward. And then I'm going to try a couple bites of it, and then, I don't know, try and give the rest of these away, because who's going to actually sit here and eat 4 burgers? This is not.
Well, they're going to shrink when you cook them, so that's not bad in itself.
They're since they went IPO, they've done really well. Their financials are okay. It's a tough market. They're obviously doing a lot of advertising research. There's a lot of overhead. It's not a mature company, so still early on.
Well, I think this is one of the good things in regards to that. Dunkin' Donuts was actually one of the first to adopt or to have it on their menu.
I tried this sausage one. It's not bad. Considering how it is, and it's prepared like, obviously, like, all right, I have a Dunk's coffee. Yeah, I like Dunk's. Whatever. We're up in New England.
Yeah. If you're from New England, you love Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know a New Englander who doesn't like Dunkin' Donuts. It's
just because. I mean, I'm not even like I like their coffee. I like other coffees more, but it's Dunkin' Donuts, so I just go.
Yeah.
So like they don't have real cooking things, so they're making these sausages using their like little convection kind of oven things and everything, and it still came out all right. It wasn't bad. If that sausage was actually like pan seared and done like in a pan, it would have been a lot better.
What's the expiration date on a package?
That's a good question.
On a package product.
It froze. Not as long as like a Twinkie or anything, but if purchased frozen, it's best by basically next year this time. So April 15th, 2021.
What about fridge?
It didn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say. Purchased refrigerated, used by retail, apply, best used by date. Well, Whole Foods, looks like you done screwed up. You didn't tell me nothing.
Well, it might not be Whole Foods because it's got to be issued by Beyond Burger.
No. It's retailer, apply refrigerated, used by date. So it's not on here because this wasn't refrigerated. I purchased it frozen. So they only keep it in the frozen section. So they just leave the big one on there.
Interesting. Very interesting. And speaking about vegetarian foods, a brand that I like that when I'm in the States I buy. It's a little bit more expensive. It's around 8 ounces of meat or vegetarian meat for, I want to say it was like $3.50. Gardein. It definitely doesn't taste like meat, but I like the quality of the food that they have. So typically, if I'm gonna go to the grocery store, that's a brand that I like. The Beyond Meat, though, like the thing with Beyond Meat and the Impossible Burger is that they're essentially counterfeit. They're counterfeit burgers. they're supposed to almost trick the mind in thinking that it's a burger. So that's the part I'm really curious about. What you think?
It looks like a burger. The color's a little off, not gonna lie, but we'll see. I'm interested to see what a plain one versus once you put like a little bit of cheese and some barbecue sauce on there.
Mm.
What it's like.
So how are you going to cook the burgers? Going to be medium?
On a stovetop, medium to low, a little bit of butter on there. My burgers, my actual like ground beef burgers, I like them like a medium. I'm not sure we're gonna cook these all the way through. Says do not overcook. Edge and interior patty may still be red or pink when fully cooked. So they really are trying to go for like the actual looking like a beef burger.
I wonder, and this might be
consume within 10 days of thawing. So if you thaw it out, consume within 10 days of thawing.
Oh, okay, so it's essentially
that's a pretty good shelf life for like a vegetable in the fridge. Because think about your other just vegetables in the fridge. Like that's way longer than like meat. Like if I bought like ground beef or something from the store, I'd want to use that at least within the first like 3 or 4 days. By day 4, you notice it like it's starting to get a little
rancid.
It's turning a little gray. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like I wouldn't still eat it, but I would cook it a little more than I would on the first day.
Yeah. I think everyone would. So you have the heat on high, medium high. Where do you have it?
Oh, I'm a medium. It's a medium low right now. Medium low. I don't feel like setting off a fire alarm or anything right now. Interesting as that would be.
All right. So the next question, the previous episode, we were talking about traveling. So the question I want to ask you is, did you buy the ticket?
I buy my ticket? I did not buy my ticket.
Ah, dude, come on. What's going on here? You're killing me.
So I'm fully in on this, despite the fact that I'm still really nervous about it. I am fully in on it. I have a couple things I have to square up before I can like set a hard date because I need those things like done around here before I can book that. So my goal is by the end of this week to be done with all of those things. A couple little personal finance things, and I'm actually like my legs feel a lot better. It's still a little achy and everything, but overall it feels good. I want to see by the end of the week kind of where I am with that because I've been having good response. I'm actually going for like acupuncture for the first time ever.
Oh, cool.
Tomorrow at 1. They call it, it's going with a physical therapist, so they call it dry needling. I don't know. Is there like a rule that you can't call it acupuncture? Like, why do you call it dry needling? Like, dry needling means you're sticking me with a needle, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's acupuncture. But they don't call it acupuncture at the physical, they call it dry needling. Yeah, my hamstring is it's like locked up. Like it's like ridiculously flexed. Like if I flex both of them, like they're in different shapes, like blatantly different shapes between the two of them. So you say it can be like kind of from the back a little bit, whatever. But yeah, I'm going for some acupuncture to try and get that thing released. So I'll let you know how that goes. Have you ever gone before?
I have never gone before.
No, me neither.
The only thing that I have tried was Bantusa, which is the cupping therapy, which like they light like a flame underneath a bottle.
Thing, they light it, and then they suck. Yeah. How is that?
It's different, but afterwards, I was extremely tired, like very not lethargic, but more like super relaxed. It was like, whoa, why do I feel like I'm just you?
Yeah. So right now, like the structure of everything is feeling good. It's just like from being back kind of in the position I think I was supposed to be, like stuff is just like a little sore and off. So hopefully the little PT, they can just loosen up
let that hamstring relax, and then that kind of relaxes everything else too.
Mm. Well, that's good. So different type of therapy. I'll be.
But then, so I want to wrap that up and wrap up, like I said, a couple financial things, and then I'm gonna book it. The earliest I'll leave will be the end of June / like the first week of July. That June 21st weekend is like Father's Day. My sisters are back. We're gonna celebrate their graduations, which got screwed all up because of COVID and everything.
Yeah.
So they'll be back. So we're gonna do all that stuff, which is like, real important. So that'll kind of be like that, and a little send off weekend, and then I'll leave probably the weekend or the weekend after that, and head out for
The adventure.
a little while. Yeah, I'm still super nervous about it.
Oh, by the way, Penny Pincher says hi, Cruz.
Oh, hey, Penny Pincher, what's going on?
We have 7 viewers right now, so
I'm super excited, but like, it is just like whatever it is, whether it's, invested in a new stock, taking your chance there, you do your research and everything, but like you got to jump in and go. So like, yeah, I'm, gonna plan. I've been looking at different things out there. I've reached out to some people that are actually out there. I told you that kid I met, just playing games online. He lives out there with him and his fiance. I asked him what it's like out there, and he said like the restrictions were starting to lax a little bit, so that's good. Nice. I wouldn't want to go out there and have them be super strict on restrictions, and I'm just stuck there in the hostel. I can't even go around and do anything.
Yeah.
I found some decent like excursions to go out rappelling and stuff, not far away. So I mean, I've done that like indoors, but I've never done like rappelling out like on the actual rock face or anything. So that'd be a decent little adventure just on one weekend. Get out. So there's a ton of stuff like that going on out there, which I'll probably definitely check out at least like for the first weekend or two, just to get a feel for the place.
Yeah. So for anyone who hasn't watched the videos or the previous video, Cruz, could you just kind of give the audience again, who haven't watched any of the previous episodes, what you do for a living, and why you're able to travel for an extended period of time?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Let me just flip these real quick.
So while he's flipping those, just to give everyone some information there, he actually started that about 10 minutes ago on one side on medium low with each of the burgers or each of the burger types.
So yeah, I am a web architect for an e-commerce company, and previously we were in office, and honestly, like I've always been kind of an in-office kind of person. I don't know, I just like going in. I like actually being able to get up and talk to people and everything. But with the recent changes, we've just been full remote. It was okay at first, and now it's actually really grown on me because we've always talked about being able to travel, go and do this and everything. And there's really usually only like 2 things that hold you back. And me and Cooey have talked about this before. Well, there's probably 3. 1, just yourself, just being scared, which is kind of the point that I am a little bit right now, is a little nervous. 2, you might have a family, which case you're settled down here, there, wherever. Like you can't just get up and go. Sure, that's great. Just a different life, super rewarding. Just doesn't happen to be where I am right now. Or the 3rd one is work. Like the means, like you can't just get up and say, I'm not going to have any money to do anything and just leave. Just life doesn't work that way. So because of the remote and the fact that my company is basically remote through the remainder of this year and potentially full time after that, I mean, I've always said that I wanted to just go off and be able to travel and go and do this from wherever. I kind of now have that opportunity, so I have to take it. Whether it goes poorly, amazingly, I have no idea about it. I'm going to take that opportunity. I might be back home. Like I told, I might be back home in like 2 weeks or 2 years. I don't know, but we're gonna give it a go.
Yeah, and I think this is a really good way too for people to just get a a perspective on someone starting out in this type of lifestyle, or if anyone's out there that's considering kind of I know that you hate saying it, and I hate saying it too, but it's digital nomad lifestyle. Okay, it's and I'm not going to talk about myself here, but I will right now. I've been doing the digital nomading thing for about a year. Cruz and I are both investors, so we do talk about this a lot. And we have actually other people that we invest in, that invest in stocks as well and other things as well. But as far as having the ability to travel around, I think for Cruz, he's a really good place to be able to explore that and to decide in a period of time, like whether it's something that he enjoys, that he wants to continue, or something that he doesn't like. You know, and the great thing is, like, you don't know early on, but then when you're in the mix, it's like, okay, do you like it or not like it? Basically, that's the beauty of it. But the great thing is that we're going to be able to document it through these videos and just getting a real sense of like what that experience is like. So with that,
it's gonna be the shortest document ever. I'll be back in like a week and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So it's not always going to be a cooking show, and Cruz and I have already started making plans about traveling together. So right now, like the way that'd be awesome. It was really fun doing the Peru thing. We did a lot of talking, a lot of brainstorming, a lot of just everything. And yeah, I think this is a really good thing, because a lot of times, like, yeah, I'm kind of like this voice in the background, but the way Google Meet is set up, and that's what this video is hosted on, it doesn't show the person who's hosting the video. It only shows the people that are in the meeting. So that's how this video is being broadcast, and through YouTube. So there's a few things going on at the exact same time. But full disclosure, I absolutely love the whole. I can't see my lifestyle going any other direction. I can honestly say that I enjoy it. I love the freedom, but I also just like that ability to be like, I'm in a completely different place, new. But the great thing is, like, anywhere in this world, there's a lot of just wonderful people out there. That's one of the things that I absolutely love about the whole travel experience, and the food too.
Yeah, it really is. Like, I don't know why I'm so worried about it. Just having like gone before and everything. Like, depending where you are and what you're doing, like there's other people out there doing the exact same thing as you, and they're friendly. Just it just takes a casual hello, and then it's a conversation, and you meet somebody new.
Yeah.
And whatever, and that's maybe that's the person that you chat with for that night and everything. Maybe it's somebody that becomes a friend for a long time. You don't know.
Yeah. And like the trip that we had in Peru, I mean, we didn't know the people that were there, but we, you spend like 4 or 5 days with people and you get to know them, and it was really fun. It was really fun, and they were from all over the place, so it was really cool to share that experience with other people. But you'll never get a sense. A lot of people will never get the sense of what it's like to climb a 17,000 foot mountain, and breathe the air, feel the cold, and wake up. For Cruz, he got sick, but he still went on the hike to Rainbow Mountain, which is 17,000 feet elevation. And dude,
I was not feeling so hot that. Well, I was really not feeling hot the day before. That's for sure. And then, I didn't think I was gonna go. I was getting ready. I was figuring out how I was gonna tell you that you were going by yourself. I was waiting.
Well, that time when we went in the room and you were like, I'm not feeling that well, and you had the curtains closed like really quick, like you were like in bed right away. I was like, oh dude, he's feeling like garbage. I was like, oh man, I hope he's all right. And I've experienced that myself, but I've had like the fortunate situation where I rented out a room, at an Airbnb, So if I needed to rest, I could rest. Whereas this is like he's on vacation, he's on an excursion, and he's not feeling well, and that type of combination makes it more difficult to make those types of decisions. But he muscled through it, and on top of the elevation at Cusco being somewhere in the 8 to 9,000 feet elevation, and then to jump to Rainbow Mountain and go for a hike and still feel sick. That's an impressive feat. So I was very happy that Cruz did it, but I was also worried too because if you want to exacerbate a sickness and and torture yourself by going hiking, um, that could happen. But yeah, he got through it.
I don't recommend it, but I think I ate like 32 ibuprofens that day. I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't. But.
Well, your experience points went up really high, like your fortitude. Because, like I said, that's not easy to be able to do that. It's like, but he did it. It was absolutely an amazing hike, for sure. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Oh, the hike, yeah. Rainbow Mountain was awesome. The hike is unreal. If you want to feel like you are absolutely, completely out of shape compared to somebody, go up on Rainbow Mountain. And then they have like the people that actually live up in that area, the Sherpas and the village, and they make most of their money and stuff off of the tourists that come up there now. They live up basically like at the beginning of where most of the tourists gets dropped off. You can see small villages. They're a little below. They're kind of around that area. They help with, they sell stuff. They do some of the horses. They do a bunch of different things there for money. Along with the other things that they're obviously have their own source of meat and food, and they have their llamas and alpacas and different things. But they literally run up and down this mountain. So like it was a struggle in about 2.5 hours or so. It was a struggle. Granted, I wasn't feeling great. It was a struggle to get from where they dropped you off to the top, hang out for a minute, and then come back down. These people, easily the people that were going back and forth with the horse, they're not riding the horse or anything up. You're on the horse or the donkey or whatever that's bringing you up. They are running up along this, pulling this, and then running back down, because the more trips up and down that they do, the more money that one up and down that we did, somebody else doing that horse probably did, I don't know, 10 trips up and down.
Yeah,
the amount of time it was for us to do one. And some of them were in sandals. Like it's snow and mud, like it's cold up there. Like at the top, it was like chilly. Like I'm talking hat, gloves on, like it was cold. Running this in sandals, it was unreal. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, we want those people on our cross country team. We want those. Seriously, like it was unbelievable to see that. Hold on. So you took the burgers out. That took maybe a good anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes total for the burgers, and you added the cheese. While you flipped it on one of the sides there.
I did, yeah. Yeah, so we have the two. So this is, I'll bring this down a little. You can probably see that now. Regular hamburgers, one cheese, one just plain. Your Beyond Burgers. That looks like a burger.
Yeah, no, that's great that you're holding it still, because it helps with the buffering.
That looks like a burger. So,
all right. Oh, it's exciting.
As there's plain nothing, I'm going to top this one. I'm going to cut this in half so we can see what it looks like.
And anyone who's watching, if you guys got questions about the burgers themselves or some of the topics that we were talking about, Peru, Beyond Meat as far as investing in things like that, feel free. To be honest, though, I haven't done any analysis or research on Beyond Meat other than what I looked at today. So, but this is some good insight as far as whether you guys are interested in grabbing the burger. So, the burger is on the right, I would presume, right? And then or actually, I should say my right. Your left is the burger, and then your right is the Beyond Meat. Correct?
What's this one?
Yeah, the Beyond Meat.
Yeah, you're correct. That's regular burger. That's pretty close though. That looks like meat. Cooked a little more than I wanted to. You got me distracted with whatever we were BSing about. But that's fine. Still juicy. All right, one single bite burger.
Wait, bring the camera up. I want to. So this is the burger. And do you have anything on it?
No, this is the plain. This is the plain, so that way we can get the full check.
Okay.
All right, plain as is burger. Does the burger taste? Consistency is actually similar. It's not bad.
Okay.
The flavor is in the ballpark.
Like a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning like closest to a burger flavor.
10 is exactly a burger.
Yeah.
Give it a 6. Give it a good solid 6, which is not bad. That's not a bad rating at all.
Yeah.
We're talking about plain. So there's no cheese, no barbecue sauce, nothing else that's going to like. And I just took a bite of a burger, so I have like that exact comparison.
Now, as far as like the texture and the bounce is because like when you cook a burger, it has kind of not fibrous, but it's got a little bit of that kind of type of squishiness to it, and stretchiness. Does it have that?
Yeah. So it's like it's not bad. So it's got like, see how like it pulls apart? It pulls apart pretty similar to a burger.
Okay.
All right, barbecue cheese time. It's not Sweet Baby Ray's, but it's good enough.
Which one is? What kind of barbecue sauce is that?
This is like Texas True. It's like 365. It's like the Whole Foods brand.
Okay.
I want to say when I was getting barbecue sauce, this was like the only one. So like I'm sure you've noticed down there like stuff's out here. There's like certain items that have not made it back yet, and I don't know why. Salad dressing there is like at a premium. It gets not made a comeback. I don't know where the salad dressing went to. I don't know who has so much salad dressing at their house that I can't get any. Salad dressing is the new toilet paper. If anybody has any Caesar dressing and they want to sell me some, feel free. It's absurd.
What salad dressing would you be going for?
It was out of Caesar for like 4 weeks. I finally got a little Caesar dressing this past week.
Now, so Penny Pincher is asking, would you switch to Beyond Burger instead of a regular burger?
Ooh. No. I'm going now.
A hard
now.
no.
Say if there was like, all right, you're trying to balance out some, having a little less meat in your life, or say your like significant other or whatever is vegetarian, and you're like, I just want to have these one night and not have to grab or cook both, I would be perfectly fine with this. This would be completely like a really decent We're gonna try with the barbecue and cheese right now. I'll give you my final vote.
And okay, so that one is the regular burger.
No, this is actually the Beyond Burger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd be completely fine with this for dinner. But it was like, yeah, just to save time and not do both up. You're doing some burgers one night. The other person's vegetarian. This is coming from me, who I eat steak like a couple times a week. This is actually pretty good.
Cool. So, I've also had, the vegetarian style stuff as well. And as far as being like a meat eating person, like it wouldn't be a daily driver for me. But like for me, it's like I eat meat half the time. But as far as yeah, if you're having this every once in a while, I would definitely agree with that it's good to have for sure.
Like the regular beef burger, like I just had it, like it's better. Just in my opinion, just what I like and everything. The Beyond Burger compared to like the older, like just bean patties, which were still pretty good, significantly better. Much, much, much closer to an actual burger than the old just bean patties or veggie patties or anything.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think, and that's an interesting thing too, because whenever I had the bean patty burgers and stuff, I never considered it like replacing a burger. I thought of it as eating a bean bean patty sandwich. I didn't think of it as a burger, whereas
At all.
yeah, I think for something like this, it's a good it's a good like midpoint, a good midpoint for like, oh, you want to cut down on some of the meat eating like you were saying. This is for me, my opinion, like if you want to cut down on some of the meat eating,
Oh yeah.
and have an alternative, this is a pretty good substitute as far as if someone wants to do that.
Where this would come in a lot handier, in my opinion, too, is like I don't like freezing meat, really. Like I like to buy whatever it's steak, chicken, or whatever it is. I like to buy that and then actually use it like that week. I don't like freezing meat. It's just me. This is frozen. So like you can have this as and frozen. It's frozen. It's good. It's frozen and it's good till next April. As like a reasonable substitute to have some of those in the freezer frozen to be able to just pull out, thaw out, and then cook later that night or the next day or whatever because you couldn't make it somewhere. Perfectly good option.
No, that's good to know, especially if you need food like really quick or you don't want to go to the groceries and you have it in the freezer. It's definitely a good thing to have because meat only lasts like a few months, right, in the freezer before it's just kind of not good to eat. I mean,
if you have like a sub-zero freezer, because like you have people that may get. There actually are people that might get like a whole cow or half a cow or something from the butcher, and they have like a sub-zero freezer that they keep it. It's good for a long time, but it's not the same. It's never the same once it gets frozen and everything. I'd much rather just go every week and buy my meat, eat it that week. If I don't have it, I'll eat it, and that's it. But they definitely have something. So obviously, like their stock and everything is done really well.
Yeah, I definitely think they have some staying power for sure in the market. Because like I said, for me, except since I've been in Ecuador, I've been eating a lot of seafood and stuff like that. But
competition though,
what is it?
It's like competition though. So with Beyond Meat, like they have Impossible Burger. That's another really solid product. I have had them.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Well,
it's going to be a race to get it.
Well, I think one of the good things about the competition, since essentially there's only two major companies that we know about that are providing this type of product, is the Impossible Burger and Beyond Meat. So
yeah,
I think with more competition, there's going to have that ability where a product like this can, the price will drop when there's more competition out in the market. But on top of that, it's still fairly new.
The bigger the supply chain is up and they don't have to spend
everything on getting that set up will probably help their bottom line a bit too.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, I'm going to say, it's a good product. It's a really good product. It's going to come down to optimizing, their supply chain, getting those down so that way they're actually returning a nice profit that they can kind of play around with, and the marketing and getting new purchases.
Yeah.
Getting more people actually on it. And I don't think going forward, obviously, do you think that the number of vegetarians is going to decrease or increase? If you were guessing,
I'll put it this way. I just had this thought.
I mean, I already have my answer to this one, but go ahead.
I have this thought where if the process itself is far more refined, I can see this being a big part of space travel. That sounds kind of weird, super futuristic.
I did not see that going that way.
Dude, I literally just thought of it like 5 minutes ago.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. You piqued my interest. Go ahead.
So, obviously there needs to be oxygen produced with making food, but if the process itself is well refined, I think future colonizations and things like that before, you can transfer the cows and whatnot or different meat products into a different area, that something like this is going to be kind of like some sort of standard. I think there's going to be a lot of purists as far as meat goes. Like, I don't think, like I said, when there is kind of that difference with meat itself, with a texture, but it's so close that I think people will accept it more. And I almost feel like meat, like real meat, will be more of a delicacy. Like people will appreciate it more, look at it like, oh wow, like you're eating real beef. That, like,
I'll be honest, I probably eat. I probably eat way too much meat. I definitely eat way too much red meat. Like, that's not even considering I had like a 20-ounce ribeye last night. We smashed it. That was after I had a barbacoa burrito for lunch too.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I could use, maybe a little Beyond Burger in my life, help trim that down a little bit, get my fix without doing that whole, extra meat and stuff. But all in all, yeah, pretty happy with that product. That's not bad at all. I would eat that. If someone was like, yeah, that's all I have, I'd be like, oh, that's perfect. Sign me up, sure.
All right. So for your verdict, right? So Beyond Meat burger, like if they were in a ring fighting, right? Who would reign victorious?
Oh, I mean, the burger's taken, but it's not the first round. I think the beef. I think the patty with the fake protein and everything there from the peas, and not fake protein, but non animal protein, vegetable protein. It's got a little staying power. It goes a couple rounds, but then it's out.
Yeah. So here's an interesting thing. So when I actually went vegetarian for like 6 months a while back ago when I lived in Somerville, near Boston.
Did you? I tried when I was like 19. I lasted like a week and a half.
Yeah, like, and I can tell you, my experience is that the protein in vegetables does not equate to the protein in meat. There's something about the vegetable proteins. This might be different with Beyond Meat and Possible Burger and stuff like that. But I found that my satiation after I ate food wasn't the same. There was this kind of like I needed to eat more because I needed more protein. It was kind of along those lines.
So like, I know after I have like a huge ribeye, like I am lethargic. Like I woke up on the couch at like 1 a.m. and I crushed that ribeye, and then I went and watched a movie for a little bit, and I was out because it hits you, and you're just like, oof. Did you get that feeling at all?
No, it's a different type of. It's more like I need to eat more. Whereas with something like red meat, it's like, oh, I feel like my heart's needs to work harder. So I feel like the vegetable diet was like, it felt like my body was burning better, metabolizing stuff better. But as far as oh man, I felt like eating meat. I always felt stronger. There was some, I don't know. There's just some difference, like how my body felt.
It still makes a protein, but it's a different protein.
Yeah.
It's not the exact same protein as a meat protein. So, like your body's going to break it down. It's going to register it differently.
Yeah. So with my experience, that was one of the reasons why I actually stopped the whole vegetarian thing, because I just didn't feel like I was 100%. I always felt like that I just needed the extra thing that meat had that the vegetable stuff didn't have. But not that would should deter people from that, but just from my experience on doing the vegetarian thing for 6 months. Or around 6 months. I think it might have been a little bit less than that, but yeah. So Beyond Burger. Oh, what's the nutritional value of Beyond Burger? Oh, it's good. Okay, so Penny Pincher asked the nutritional value.
So your one patty there is like 260 calories. Not terrible. A little less than beef, but not light.
What about the fat content? How much of it is saturated and how much of it is unsaturated?
So total fat is 18 grams. No trans fat, of course. But saturated fat is 5 grams, which actually technically is like 25% of your daily value. But that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad at all.
What about
sodium? Is not, like I said, the sodium's not terrible. I'm really not like an anti-salt kind of person. Like, you got to keep that sodium way, way down. I'm fine with the salt. If you're drinking a lot of water and you're working out and you're sweating and you're doing that, like, a little extra sodium in your diet is not going to kill you. And this is actually, it's not even terrible, 350 milligrams. The big thing was like the one patty has 20 grams of protein, which is great.
Yeah, that's
a real
really
healthy. Only 4 ounces.
Yeah.
For only a 4-ounce patty, that's really good. And then besides that, basically, there's literally nothing else. There's no cholesterol. You get a little fiber, a little dietary fiber in this, a couple grams.
So the cholesterol part, that's a huge advantage actually with Beyond Meat against burgers, because lower cholesterol.
Got high blood pressure, trying to cut back, and you want to have like a decent meal. All right, you want to have some burgers? Try, have a Beyond Burger instead of having that ground beef burger. Trying to get your cholesterol down a little bit.
Yeah, so if you're going to go for that 10-mile run, it's probably better to eat the Beyond Burger first before the run than a regular burger.
Yeah. So upcoming. So I did look at, speaking of stocks and other stuff, I did start looking at your little AMD mention. Because they were interesting me. They're at a reasonable position right now. I mean, they were at a better position, obviously, a month or so ago, just like everybody was for purchasing. What I did notice was that was very interesting. I sort of knew about it. They're extremely heavily sourced. Taiwan Semiconductor makes a ton of those AMD chips. Like all of their new chips and all of their new stuff is like all based off on a bunch of their Taiwan Semiconductors, like 7 nanometer process.
Yeah.
For their chips and everything, which then made me love Taiwan Semiconductor even more. That stock, for a staple stock, as far as just like slow, solid, consistent growth, amazing financials, even though they have to spend a ton of money, like to stay ahead of people, they have to spend a ton of money on research and development.
Yeah.
And
which makes sense.
Of course, yeah, they're a foundry. They have to keep pushing the envelope as far as how small they can go and different, their process. They still have a huge margin of error as far as everything. Like, they're not up against it. Like, they return great numbers. Yeah, I love them long term. Like, it's just like even if there's a long term like growth with a dividend. Because even at their price right now, they're still returning like a 5% dividend.
Yeah, and just so, what's the symbol for Taiwan Semiconductors? And I want to talk about them as well.
Oh, TSM.
So it's TSM. Okay, so one of the things that he's pointing out here with the AMD chips, they're a semiconductor company. Um, they they sell a commodity product, but they're a very stable company, considering that a lot of places or a lot of companies already use their product. They're one of the second or third largest company in the world that produces um, semiconductor chips, and I don't remember which was the first one. Um, and Cruz in Cruz's early investing journey, that was one that he brought up. For me, I hedged on that investment. So basically, I bought half of Taiwan Semiconductor and I bought half of Sociedad de Química. And actually, Taiwan Semiconductors did a lot better kind of over the period of time, and just overall financially. But Sociedad de Química is also a commodities company that mainly sells lithium. They're based out in Chile. That was actually one of the reasons why I wanted to go to Chile. So
I actually, it's funny you said that. I actually did just look at a couple of the mining companies. Obviously, the two big ones, well, and one major one, Albemarle.
yeah,
But obviously, I did just look again at Sociedad. Um, Only because obviously we're down right now overall as an economy and everything, but things are going to pick up.
yeah.
In particular, I don't know if we've actually really seen a peak on the lithium producers.
It's
But
it's
Sociedad having a little issue. Chile's trying to put a tax on um, some of the mining companies on the exports and stuff that would have like a really major impact. I don't know why they're trying to kill. I don't know if they don't want exporting or the government wants their money or something. I don't know. But
yeah. So today, SQM is up just under 6%, um, and their PE is 32 with a 3.2% yield.
so in the overall market right now, 33 is not bad. But for what they do in their industry, it's a little high.
Yeah,
Industry
yeah.
for their industry, that's a little high.
The good thing about Sociedad de Química is that so many things use lithium, and part of the expansion of some of the technology that's out there with uh, uh what's the name? I can't think of the name. Graphene. So there's like graphene composites for making batteries to make them more efficient. And
Yeah,
Samsung,
if anybody out there can actually supply the list of like reasonable graphene investments, I would love to hear it because you have to like kill your mom and sell your sister to like find who's actually really using graphene.
yeah, it's very difficult to find information about that, but I can say that companies like LG is a big producer of batteries. Um, Samsung is a conglomerate. They have their fingers dipped in every type of industry, but they're one of the first companies to come out with a lithium graphene battery. I want to say that one of their newer phones has it. That's supposed to increase the speed of recharge, but also retain the life of the battery.
Supposed to crank up how fast it charges and then how many charges you can get out of the battery.
Yeah. So, and from my understanding of it too, it's like the quality of the lithium. So that's one of the things why I chose Sociedad de Química. Their lithium quality is some of the highest grade. The problem with the lithium industry right now, as far as what I know, is that the competition for lithium, because lithium is actually a material that's available pretty much everywhere. So there's a lot of competition around the world. But as far as like the highest grade, um, you know, they're much more they have a hold in that market as far as, because actually Albemarle, a lot of their mines are actually in the same general locations as Sociedad de Química in South America.
I mean, Albemarle, they have a good footprint over in Nevada. Albemarle does.
Oh, the audio cut out there a little bit.
I was saying Albemarle also has a pretty big footprint over in Nevada. Because because they were right next to that junior company that I was looking at that I ended up selling out of. Didn't go so well, but they're still trying. That small, I just took a gamble on it. It was nothing major. It was just a shot on it, but they're only because they're trying to like pull the lithium in a completely new way using like these actual like evaporation tanks, whereas like the traditional way is like it's the pump, fill up these huge lakes and let it naturally evaporate. They're filling these tanks and using a chemical process to evaporate the water much faster is their concept. They're hooked up with this Italian company that brought the technology there. So that's what I was investing in, not necessarily like their stake and everything, because it's not like they're super junior. They didn't have a huge swath of land. They had a decent foothold in Nevada, but their technology that they wanted to try and go with was very interesting, but they just haven't been able to get that pilot plant like kicked off. They're like drilling again.
Yeah,
it's not going so hot for them. Didn't go so hot for me. So
yeah, and I think that's one of the things just with investing. It's like
I sold them for a write-off. I sold them.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. Sometimes we all take losses. The good thing about investing is as long as you have more wins or wins that overcome some of those losses, you end up making out. That's really what it comes down to. So Beyond Meat, hamburgers. So I guess the real thing with Beyond Meat is that it's not necessarily a full substitute for burgers from based on what you're talking about, but it's something that you can definitely have as kind of like an intermediary, just in case you want to eat something a little bit healthier, or um, or even just looking to try it.
Yeah, you just want to try it, cut back on the meat. You're doing, dinner, like I said, with your significant other, they're vegetarian or whatever, and you just want to do one simple thing and not do both. Like, be completely happy with that as a burger. And then as far as a company, I'll definitely keep an eye on them. The whole market, I think, as far as those coming out between Beyond and Impossible, is an interesting long-term play because, like I said, like vegetarian is not going to go down. The number of vegetarians is definitely only going to increase.
Yeah.
From here on.
Well, I think a key thing that you pointed out, and I think this is very important as far as investment side of stuff, is that frozen it lasts the whole year, so it creates less risk, further down the supply chain, right to the restaurant or to, or at the home. So
they should definitely be able to plan out their manufacturing goals as far as like if they're leaning out and running a lean process for their manufacturing goals. Because of that, they have a huge leg up on anybody that's doing like meat products.
Yeah, and that's one of the good things too, because if you think about it, if they're able to manage their supply and maybe they can sell products that are frozen already, at a discount, they're making back on their volume. That's there's a lot of different concepts there. And then on kind of like I said, I was saying before, like future ideas with this whole Space Force, SpaceX, Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever it is. There's that possibility that something like Impossible Foods or Beyond Meat could be a very strong candidate as far as food products go. When space travel becomes kind of a normal thing. I think in our lifetime we're going to see some cool. I almost swore we're going to see some cool stuff.
So, all right. So random, and this is my closing note. How is Tesla back up to $925? What? How is this company that doesn't turn a profit? Vehicle sales are plummeting right now. They plummeted because of this whole thing, and they're back up to fake $925 a share. Huge market cap, running negative on loans. Like, how is this? How is that even a real thing? I don't know.
I have no
Tune in
idea.
next week. To find out how Elon Musk does.
Because
if people want to swing trade and play that game, it's all fair. If you got a brokerage account,
you can do a straddle option on Tesla all the time. It's going to go up or down. And either way, if you're straddling appropriately, you're going to make money. Granted, you got to have some money if you want to do a straddle option on Tesla all the time.
yeah, if you got $3,000 and you wanna wait till that price drops and then have it bump back up to 900, I mean, you'll make like $600, $600 to $1,000 if you can figure that out.
The commission thing actually makes that legitimate nowadays. You can make a couple bucks a lot easier now without having to worry about that.
Yeah. So save the pennies. Look into the whole. Now, full disclosure, and this will be my closing statement. I don't swing trade all the time, and I don't day trade all the time. That's not something that I do.
I don't ever.
It's not something where I like looking at charts all day every day. That's not my modus operandi. But
it's not good. It's not good for your health. You have a heart attack.
Yeah. Yeah, that too. So if you want to have a healthy life, maybe eating some Beyond Burger.
Otherwise, if you want to die, just eat a whole crap load of red meat and swing trade. You'll have a heart attack in 2 hours.
You'll have a heart attack in 2 hours. All right, so that's it for the live stream. I think Cruz and I are probably gonna have a little quick meeting here offline. So thank you guys for joining us on this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have any additional questions, comments, or anything like that, feel free to ask us. If you're even interested in having us do a little bit of analysis, I don't know if Cruz is open to this, but with the investment group that we're part of, brother, my sister, brother-in-law, myself, we're all part of the group. We do like a meet once a month, maybe. Feel free to hit us up. So ask us any questions about food. If you're curious about Cruz's adventure, and please put in the comments or something. Tell him to buy his freaking ticket already.
Sorry, I was checking an email, completely distracted. What was that?
No,
Totally.
I'm telling the people that are watching the video that you should buy your ticket. Buy your ticket to Colorado.
I gotta get a couple things done. I'll buy it this week, I promise.
All right.
To Denver. I showed you that to Denver. I don't care. We can say where I'm going. To Denver. I showed you that hostel. The hostel looks amazing. Stuff's starting to kind of open up back out there. It'll be great. I'll say the only one thing is like I want to make sure that I'm feeling with the leg and hip and stuff, feeling pretty good because I want to get outside out there and do a bunch of stuff, bunch of active stuff, which means definitely want to be feeling all right.
So for next week, guys, tune in. Dry needle update, ticket to Colorado, and
acupuncture.
Yeah, dry needle.
We got to talk about what we're going to do about traveling out for adventure and stuff. But.
Yeah. There's more to that. So the live stream is now over. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're watching the recording, feel free to drop a line in the comment section, and see you guys next week.